Hello and welcome to the second episode of the Rule Your World podcast. Graeme, how are you doing?
Not too bad, Charlie. Not too bad at all. Again, very, very hot. I don't think that's going to change throughout the entirety of summer, to be quite honest. Sitting at 33 degrees here right now, so I'm sweating. However,
Wow.
I'm rocking the t-shirt that you sent me from England.
Yes.
I'm very thankful about that, actually. Although it did take me about 4 years to retrieve it because of the postal system here.
Yeah.
Never mind. No, I wasn't actually that bad. But yeah, thank you very much for sending it over, rocking the t-shirt for our podcast.
Yeah, man, not a
How are
problem.
you?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. I've been working hard, learning, and just building the brand as always. Just soaking up that knowledge like a sponge.
Good man, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of something that you have to do when you are building a personal brand, mate.
Yeah.
You really have to focus on what it is that you're actually trying to portray to the other people.
Yeah.
You know, meaning like what are your beliefs and what are your values? You know, like what do you value in business or what do you value in life? You know, like do you like traveling? Then show it. You know, show it in everything that you do. You know, write blogs and things like that, and blog about it every single day. Even if it's not very big, you know, just a small blog or a small paragraph about what you're actually doing or what you're actually reading. I mean, for anybody who's looking at my Facebook recently, I've been posting up things about the Global Agenda reports, the Global Youth Reports of 2015.
Very interesting.
Yeah, really interesting reports, and it's interesting because of how much of a challenge we are actually facing as a planet. And I've been posting that up on my Facebook to kind of show people, like, look, guys, this is what I'm actually looking at the moment, you know. And then eventually you'll see like a picture of me and my mom, you know, and I'm like hugging my mom, or me and my dad, I'm hugging my dad, or my mom and my girlfriend. Because at the end of the day, I want you to see this is who I am.
And the key thing about that is people can relate to it. People like family. So if you're putting family out there, people are going to relate to it. You know what I mean? Like, you have to really pick what, like you said, your interests and what you love to do and what your passions are, and really look at building a career out of that.
Exactly that. I think there's a good example of that would probably be Gary Vaynerchuk. In regards to personal branding in this sense, is he's very, very authentic, and he shows you exactly who he is and where he comes from. You know, he's very outspoken about that he's from Belarus and that he moved to America when he was 3 years old as an immigrant. Yeah, you know, he's very, very outspoken because he's proud of it. You know what I mean? Because it's who he is.
Exactly.
He's very, very proud that his dad started from nothing and then gradually build his way up. And then there's also the fact that he really wants to buy the New York Jets.
Yeah. He's not ashamed of that at all, and he's ruthless.
Everybody knows that. Do you know what I mean? Everybody who knows about him, they know his goal is to buy the New York Jets. And that's transparency, man. It's his biggest goal. Yeah. Somebody could be like, well, I'm going to buy the New York Jets. Do you know what I mean? He's like, well, watch me beat you. That's kind of his thing, is he? And he has this, I mean, I don't personally think he's egotistical. A lot of people do think that. But I don't. I think that it's just his personality. He's extremely extrovert, and he's just proud of who he is.
He's confident in himself.
Yeah, he's just confident, mate. Exactly that. And I don't think he's egotistical at all, because he has egotistical will kind of mean that he's selfish about it. But he's not. He's always giving people an opportunity. He's always helping. He spoke to me. He's done do you know, like the Facebook Live thing? It's like Periscope on Facebook, but it's only for verified users. Well, he was on there, and it was early in the morning, and I was actually there, and I was like, and he was in a taxi cab, and he said, it's all about the hustle. Out here hustling, and I was like, it's all about the hustle, and he was like, yes, Graeme, it's all about the hustle. I was like, that was amazing.
What a moment.
But again, that shows his authenticity. That makes me want to listen to him again, and it makes me want to go and buy his book or listen to his book on Audible. Do you know what I mean? There we go. Anybody who's watching, you want to know a lot about marketing? Yes. This guy is where
Gary Vaynerchuk, sorry.
Yeah, Gary Vaynerchuk. Very, very, very good guy. So I guess he is probably one of the best people who, I mean, we normally talk about, we said that we would talk about an individual that actually rules their world. He's probably one of the best examples nowadays in modern time.
Absolutely.
Because he really is ruling as well.
The thing is as well, what I like most about Gary Vaynerchuk is the no BS. Do you know what I mean? He doesn't sugarcoat anything at all.
No.
So
like if I had a business plan, I would try and pay to get it to him.
Yeah. Because he's going to tell you everything you need to know, and he's not going to sugarcoat it. He's not going to be like, he's going to be fully honest.
Yeah, and that's what you need. As an entrepreneur, you really, really need that. As I said on the last episode, I can give my mum something, okay? But I mean, I'm really thankful for her opinion on a product or something like that, or a venture that I'm ready to take. But I should really not only just take somebody who is close to me.
You need a stranger's opinion. I need to go
find somebody who doesn't like me. And they could be like, well, you know what, I don't really like you, but this is a good idea. Or find somebody who's completely neutral, who just doesn't know you at all. They have no emotional bond with you or anything like that. They're not a friend or an acquaintance. And they just go, it's a good idea,
One thing I could add on to that is, in business, a lot of people, they treat their businesses like their friendships. They look for like friends and they look for feelings with business associates and things like that. And at the end of the day, it's really not always a good idea to get your feelings so attached to people in business, because at the end of the day, like, that's when things get complicated, that's when things get messy. But in terms of personal branding, that's where your feelings can be put through content, whereas the people, like, sometimes you have to watch your feelings. Do you know what I mean?
For sure, yeah. I mean, to get emotionally attached to business itself as a subject, it's probably, I mean, it's not that it's a bad thing, but it could be dangerous for you in the future.
Start taking things too personal. Exactly.
However, if you get emotionally attached to your passion, and you get emotionally attached to your problem that you are solving, whatever that may be, that's motivation. That's inspiration there. That's going to get you up on the morning.
Get you out of bed.
I have a new. I'm not putting it out there, but I have a new project I'm currently progressing with. So Charlie is going to join me on the venture, and there's a couple of other people who are going to be joining me. But it literally wakes me up early in the morning.
And you're not in bed. You're like, oh, I've got to get up. You're like, I'm up. I'm ready. What can I do?
Exactly that. As I'm getting up and I'm washing my face, I'm brushing my teeth, I'm making my coffee. As I'm doing that, I'm thinking, I need to read this article, I need to really go back to that part of that report and really fathom out what is the problem.
Highlight those areas.
A bit better. Do you know what I mean? I'm completely and utterly passionate about that.
You have to be.
And I think that's a really, really big part about entrepreneurship, is you need to have a problem, guys. If you don't have a problem, let's say, for example, you want to open up a hat store. Nothing against anybody who wants to open up a hat store, right? But look, guys, we have a problem on the planet. We have a problem. And I don't know if anybody knows this who's listening, but by 2019, we're going to need to create 280 million jobs globally. However, that's a lot of jobs, if you can comprehend that. And we have to do that by 2019, because if not, there's going to be, obviously, there's going to be
a bigger problem.
Another challenge, I'm not going to say a problem, but another challenge.
Right.
And it's probably, as you said, probably a lot bigger than the one that we're facing now. So the reason why I'm saying it is, if you're opening up a hat store, how is that helping?
It's not contributing to anything.
It's not. I mean, you might pay your tax if you pay your tax. Because I know a lot of people will be like, "Oh, I'm not making enough. I need to put that
on the fiddle."
People are like that. If Starbucks are doing it, trust me, somebody small is going to do it as well.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing that you mentioned to me as well, like, I've realised lately that. I'm trying to set up a clothing business. Everybody on my social networks know this, right? But I'm not just trying to sell t-shirts. I'm not just trying to sell these things, right? I'm not just trying to do that. The t-shirts are like a representative of an attitude to get people
to... badge what you want.
Yeah, exactly, a badge. Because what we're trying to do is get people to rule their world. Do you know what I mean? So that is actually contributing to a problem that, like, a lot of people are facing, especially that I see on my social media, my friends all the time. they're not ruling their world and they're struggling, they're depressed about life and all of that. And contribute to a problem and start solving it. Like Graeme said, if you're just opening a hat store to be cool or to be the swaggiest guy on Instagram, then you're not solving any problems.
And trust me, you're not. Like, trust me. Like, and I'm not being pessimistic about it. I'm not being negative. Like, you're probably not the swaggiest of people.
Absolutely
on Instagram. Like, there's probably always going to be someone who someone else thinks is more swaggier.
Always.
Quote unquote, whatever that is. But I really think that we all should be. I mean, this is called social entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
It's social enterprising. You know. So we're building businesses in order to solve these problems within our nations, even within the globe, if we possibly can. You know. So I really genuinely think that this is where business should really look at.
Absolutely.
I mean, we're looking to generate these jobs out of nowhere, you know, so we need to start setting up businesses. Now, I'm not saying just run to your nearest, you know, enterprise centre and be like, okay, I need help, I need to set up a business, and it needs to save the world. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is assess the situation. Find out a problem, and see if you can build a product that is around that problem.
Even better, build a problem that is close to your heart. Like, for the personal branding aspect, build a problem that is close to your heart. Like, I used to be the guy who didn't rule my world. And now I do, so now I need to start helping others rule their world. Hence, solving the problem. So, like Graeme said.
For sure, mate.
Audit.
And personal branding nowadays is a really, really big part of entrepreneurship.
Huge.
Because, you know, you need to have something that is unique to yourself. You know, you've got so many, with the internet, you've got so many people who are trying to be the next big thing, the next big thing. You know, some people might even think that that's what we're doing, you know. But at the end of the day, you need to have your own story. You need to trying to be adding value to somebody at the same time.
Being authentic.
Exactly that. It's that authentic, and again, being transparent as well. As I said, just being completely open with your story and who you are as a person, as a human being. Do you know what I mean? The funny thing is, everyone's human beings. Do you know what I mean? So you've got something in common straight away. You're a human being.
I'd like to add something on that. You know, when you say about being authentic, being transparent, like being honest. I put a post up where I was sort of in the Lake District. I was rowing a boat and I was in the middle of an amazing scenery. I was trying to give like a speech, if you like, and then I realised I posted it straight away, and then I went away, and then I looked back on it, I was like, hold on a minute. So what I'm doing now, I suppose, is sort of clarifying the fact that I'm being honest. I learned from it, and I realised, again, something else that Gary Vee said, that you have to know what you're talking about before you start talking about it. Do you know what I mean? So that's me being honest. So that's just like me proving what Graham's just said, guys, that like you have to be open and you have to be honest, you have to be transparent and admit your mistakes, because if you don't, you're not going to learn from them. Yeah,
for sure, man.
Absolutely.
I mean, I myself, you know, I'm not exactly a millionaire, do you know what I mean? I'm not.
No.
But far from it. You know, but what I am doing is, I'm not telling you, oh, well, I've done this and I made 48 million this year. No, what I'm telling you is what I'm doing now and what I'm noticing now in real time. So I'm not trying to tell you and help you learn from my past.
No.
I want to help you from my present, and what's going on now and what I'm realizing now. And one of the big things that I'm really realizing now is that if you're focusing on wealth as an entrepreneur, you're doing the wrong thing, because you're not solving a problem. If you solve a problem, the wealth will be a byproduct. And that is a secret that I've realised I mean, not a secret, but that is a piece of advice and a piece of knowledge that I've retrieved by myself, just reading through things. If you solve a problem as an entrepreneur, you will money is going to come. Money is going to come.
But if you're focusing on the money side of things, and if all you're wanting to do is get rich, then you're not solving any problems. So even if you do get a small or a big amount of money, it's not going to last, because you're not doing anything with any longevity. You're not solving any problems. You're not adding any value to the business that you're doing.
Exactly, man. And it's really it's interesting from what I'm reading, because it's showing me that from the results or from the statistics that I'm looking at, it's kind of it's showing me that there is an increase of awareness about this type of thing.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of people and a lot of institutions that are really trying to sort this problem out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 280 million jobs in 4 years, it's a bit of a task. Do you know what I mean? So that's what we need to create. Obviously,
Absolutely.
there have been people doing this for a while now, so it's getting there. It's not really getting there, but
the awareness is growing. Yeah.
Making a chip in it, and there's going to be another global gender report released in September, I believe, about 2030 by the UN.
That's cool.
Everybody needs to be looking at that as well and seeing, okay, so how do I help this? How do I do it? What are the global problems in the world, and how do we start solving it with business? I really think that is the future of business and the future of educational institutions as well. Because this is where all of our brainsters are, you know, in the educations like Harvard and MIT, Stanford and things like that. And Cambridge, Oxford, they were like fourth, I think, in the top 10 universities in the world. So, you know, we all should be congregating, coming together and forming a coalition as a planet in business together, you know, that are solving problems like jobless growth, like world healthcare and things like that. We should be helping.
Strength in numbers, isn't it, again?
But what I noticed is, you know, you hear a lot of people talking about a revolution and things like that, and like, oh, well, you know, the government aren't doing much about it and blah, blah, blah. Like, yeah, but you're a citizen as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can do something about it as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, if they haven't done anything for a long time, then why do you expect them to do it now? Do you know what I mean? Why are you expecting these people to do something? They're not going to.
Especially if you're not doing anything yourself. You're expecting everybody else to do it for you. You're blaming the government, but you're not. Like, I used to be that guy. I'll be honest. I used to be the guy who used to blame the government. I used to blame my surroundings, and I used to be like, yeah, fuck do you know what I mean? I used to hate it.
Sort of my face there.
But yeah.
That, everyone.
But you have to really take responsibility for what you want to see changing.
Yeah. It's I didn't get it, to be quite honest. You know, when I was 20, 21, I got really heavily into it all. And I started looking and I was like, well, why is the world like this and blah, blah, blah. But then you just realise, look, I'm going to have to take charge of my life.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have to try and influence other people to take charge of their lives.
Absolutely.
In order to at least make a dent in this. Do you know what I mean? Because you need to be able to do that.
Absolutely.
You need to be able to rule your own world before you can start ruling other people.
Yeah.
You know? There's a text. I can't remember what text it is, but Hermes, I believe it was. I think it was Hermes said that the person who cannot rule themselves has no place to rule others.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you can't. It wasn't exactly like that, but it was. That's the kind of thing of it. You know, like. Him who doesn't rule himself cannot rule others, that kind of thing. Or the other way around, him who rules other people should be able to rule himself. Do you know what I mean? Like, you need to start, Michael Jackson said it, start with the man in the mirror. Do you know what I mean? Or the woman in the mirror, of course. You know, sorry, ladies. But you need to be able to do that.
Help yourself before you can help others.
Yeah, help yourself. Know your own worth. Know your own value. Do you know what I mean? Before you can start telling somebody else what their value is. You know?
Yeah.
Set by an example. Start doing what you should be doing in your life, or what you believe you should be doing in your life. Find your element. Do you know what I mean? If you like building bikes, then build bikes. But try and find a way to make that helpful. Do you know what I mean? Which I'm probably sure you probably could.
There's always a way.
Do you know what I mean? Like, if this is what you like to do, then do it. If you're an engineer, then be an engineer, but be innovative. Do you know what I mean? Invent something. Try
Solve something.
You know what I mean? Solve a problem. You know, don't just sit back and do nothing about it because you're here. You can leave an imprint on the planet, or you don't. It's up to you. But I believe that every human being can leave an imprint on the planet,
Absolutely.
especially with social media and especially with the internet, because you're globally connected now.
Exactly that.
You can either leave an imprint on the world or you won't. You know, it's completely up to you.
Yeah.
And I mean, as an entrepreneur, I really think that's kind of what you want to do is to leave an imprint on, at least on a market. At least, you know, you want to be known for your product or you want to be known for your service, of course. or else it's not going to be much of a viable business or or a service. So I really, I think that's a big thing. Now, when I was on Facebook the other night, I actually realised obviously that you posted up something just to find out a couple of questions of people. And somebody was talking about how could you travel the world and sort of with a 40-hour-a-week job. And obviously you would have obviously the answer to that is that you would have to quit. You would have to, but first you would have to plan before you do that, and you would have to have something viable to have something there and do it. Now, a lot of people travel the world and they teach people as they're on a way around the world. They exchange services for different services. There's a lot of ways to be able to do that, but the main thing is that you're gonna have to sacrifice a really big sacrifice. You could travel the world as much as you want, but you're gonna have to have something that keeps your life sustainable.
Keeps
sustainable.
The main advice that I would give to that question would be simply like, if you're working a 40-hour work week, you still have a lot of hours left in that week. You do have to sacrifice your time. Like, a lot of people, when they get home from work, they sit on the couch. And me personally, like, I still work, not 40 hours, but I still have to work to pay the bills because this isn't fully doing that. But what I do is when I get home from work is I start another shift, which is way more intense than my actual work. Do you know what I mean? Like, you have to...
It's mentally sort of... It drains you mentally, you know. I used to work for a resort here, and when I was working for the resort, I would go out and me and my partner, we wouldn't even see each other, you know.
No.
But in between, when I wasn't working, I was trying to set something up during the day. So then on the nights when I worked the resort, I would come home late on the night. I would see my partner for 20 minutes. We would have something to say, maybe an hour. Have a bit of a chat about how our day went, and then it would go to sleep, wake up, do it all again. And it was mentally draining because you would wake up and it would be like, right, okay, we need to get something sorted. Now, luckily, when I started working for U2 for Business, one of the first things that my colleagues said to me is, look, we're going to give you a little bit more of that time back, which was really, really good. And it has. It's completely transformed my life because it allows me to work on these projects as well as earn a living as well. Obviously, that is completely sustainable as well. I work freelance for the company, so it's kind of on my hours really. You know, so it is down to sacrifice, having to sacrifice that hour. I mean, I used to work on Saturdays as well, all the way until so I work 6 hours, 6 days a week, sometimes even 7, depending. You know, so a lot of it has to do with sacrifice. When you're an entrepreneur, one of the biggest things, I had a friend asking me, so how would I set up the business? And I was like, well, first of all, why do you want to set up the business? Because I want to be self-sufficient. I want to have my own time back. And I went, by time, what do you mean? Because the thing is when you have your own business, or you're trying to move your own business at least, and you're trying to set it up, you're not going to have time.
No.
Or you shouldn't have time in any way, because all of your time should be spent trying to get this off the ground, you know, and sacrificing. A lot of relationships is going to happen, like friendships, relationships, and arguments, discussions about whether it's a good thing or whether it's a bad thing. You know, it's going to happen, and you're going to have to sacrifice that emotion as well.
You have to.
I'm going to have to go through this because it's just part of the job. It's part of it, you know. You should be working a lot of hours. I mean, Gary Vaynerchuk, he says it quite often. If you're going to be working as an entrepreneur, you're probably going to be working about 16 hours, 17 hours, sometimes 19 hours a day, and not really getting much sleep.
Look at the eyes.
But that's how it is, man.
You have to hustle. At the end of the day, like for me right now, I can speak on that because I'm currently in a position of I'm working through the day, and I'm lucky enough to have a really good employer who really understands my vision, but others aren't. Do you know what I mean? Others, the people that are working, and you really need to watch how you spend your time once you get home, as we've already discussed. Like, if you're coming home and you just sat in front of the TV, as I just said before, you're not going to get anywhere. But if you really want to set up a business, you're going to have to work those 18 hours a day. You have to, because if you don't, you're going to have a lot of catching up to do. A lot of catching up to do, and you're never really going to get there. That's why entrepreneurship is not for everybody, and they have to really start really being active in achieving things.
Yeah, I mean, it's not so much, I don't think it's entrepreneurship that's not for anybody, for everybody. I think leadership is not for everybody. Because I think anybody could be an entrepreneur. Whether everybody has what it takes in order to execute it is another thing.
Yeah.
You know? For example, like, I think anybody can come up with ideas. You know, because we are creative beings, we have an imagination.
Yeah.
However, being able to execute that idea is something completely different.
Yeah.
You know, building a business model that makes it viable is completely different. And I was a big victim of this.
Yeah.
I can come up with ideas till they come out of my ears. I've got ideas coming everywhere. You know, I don't only just do that. This is what I do. I vision things. I'm like, okay, how do I do this? But a lot of the time, they're not viable. As I mentioned on the first podcast, I used to take it to Adam, and I'd be like, yo, Adam, my friend Adam, I'd be like, yo, what do you think about this? And he'd be like, yeah, it's probably not going to make money. Or, there's this problem, or there's that problem. And I'd be like, but it's a really good idea, like, you know, but yeah, ideas can be good, but, I mean, fundamentally, they're terrible.
Yeah.
They can become a nightmare. Do you know what I mean? And you need to be able to implement that idea and come up with a strategy as to how that's going to work. You know, like I can sit and tell you 1,000 ideas about how you can travel the world and do whatever you want to do. That. But at the end of the day, mate, you have to have a strategy.
Yeah.
Because if not, it's going to fall on its backside. You know, it's really, really entrepreneurship, as you said. Yeah, it's not for everybody, but it's not. It's the mindset that you need to have. I really think entrepreneurship is not. It's not a job.
No.
It's a mindset. You need to be able to think like an entrepreneur and be willing to give up a lot of these things. For example, most of the time I miss lunch. I miss breakfast.
Yeah.
My breakfast is probably a coffee and a cigarette. That's my breakfast. And probably my lunch as well.
Yeah.
And dinner
because you're so focused on doing your thing.
Yeah, because I'm just focused. I'm just thinking about, okay, how do I make this happen? Or I'm traveling to a client and I haven't got enough time.
No.
You know? I can't just text the client and be like, 2 seconds, I'm just grabbing a sandwich and then I'll be with you. No, I'm straight to there.
You have to be.
Quality, mate. Quality of service. Do you know what I mean? Being extremely professional as you possibly can be as well. Which, I mean, anybody who's actually looking at being an entrepreneur, there is actually an application that I want to chat about or I want to mention. It's called Weave, as in to weave something together.
Yeah.
And it's like a networking application. Really, really cool. I mean, it's a mix between LinkedIn and Tinder.
Yeah,
like
I'd agree with that.
Site,
I'd agree with that.
In fact, that's how it's described. And when you have a go on it, you will probably feel like that because you have to swipe this way if you don't want to meet them, swipe that way if you do want to meet them. Yeah? And then if you do want to meet and you have a match, then you can message each other. And you can talk and do whatever. Now, I was talking to somebody who was an ex-student of Harvard, and he lives in Madrid. So he wasn't, I mean, it's 5 hours away, but he wasn't too far away at the time because he was in a place called Granada, which is about an hour and a half away. Yeah, it was about 33 or something miles away.
Yeah. Okay?
Now, if I had a car, it would have been fantastic. So I would have been like, look, I'll drive up, let's talk.
Yeah.
Now, we had some really, really good ideas as well. So we have kept in touch and we agreed that I'm going to Madrid in December. So it's a possibility that we might go for a coffee or whatever. I mean, it's not solid, but it's possible, yeah? Now... So
the application does have them fundamentals that work.
Exactly that. The application has a fundamental to be able to do that and to be able to bring people together. So I think Weave's it is a fantastic little application. However, I do believe it's the MSN of what it does. And by that, what I mean is, it's just the beginning. Because after MSN come MySpace, and after MySpace come Facebook. You know, it's just about evolution of it. It's not about who does it first, it's about who does it right.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I think Facebook has done it right. And that's why it carries on being the
leader.
number one platform that everyone goes on. I think it's something like 1.37 billion people every month is on Facebook.
Wow.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah. That is a lot of people.
I think I think that in itself is a really, really good application. So anybody who's looking to maybe make connections, LinkedIn, very good one. Facebook, be very, very careful, people. Be very, very careful. Because there's a lot of people who are, quote unquote, entrepreneurs.
Self-proclaimed.
Self-proclaimed, exactly that. Yeah, it's like these self-proclaimed gurus. You're probably going to hear a video about this very, very soon on my Facebook.
Yeah.
There are so many gurus. I'm waiting to see where the disciples are, because there's that many. Everybody's a guru. And it's kind of like, well, if you're a guru, you're a guru, you're a guru, who's the best one? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And why are you operating soulfully off here? Do you know what I mean? If you're a guru, why haven't I heard you speaking at Harvard?
Or TED Talks.
Or why haven't I heard you speak? Yeah. Or why haven't I seen you on a TED Talk? Or why haven't I seen? Do you know what I mean? Again, it's self-proclaimed. And if you are calling yourself a guru, guess what, guys? You're probably not a guru.
No.
You're probably not. If you have to say you are, you're probably not. If other people are saying that you are, fair enough.
If they're testimonials on there.
That. Do you know what I mean? If I say I'm a guru about life, because I'm a life coach and I'm a guru about what? You can't. One thing, as I said in the first one, I hate the term
life coach.
I'm starting to hate the term coach, to be quite honest.
Mentor would be a better word.
Yeah, or a developer. Do you know what I mean? I develop a person or a person's idea, business idea.
Yeah.
You know? My market, I mean, as I said before, 354 is going through an extremely big evolution. And my projection is within a year, it's going to be 100% technology based.
Yeah.
100%. And people will see what that outcome is. And I'm really, really excited to introduce everything to everybody. But the application of Weave is a really, really good place for me to start, really, to have a look at how to meet new people and how to, you can even type in there looking for a co-founder, or looking for a developer. And people like developers will see that and they will start talking to you. So it is really, really interesting, and it is a good thing. Alternatively, you can go to these incubators and hubs where you, like, for example, BIC in the Northeast. Very, very good business hub. I myself have been affiliated with these people and will be as well again in the future. And it's a fantastic place. They're very, very helpful, give amazing advice, and they will cut your business down until you have something that is solid and bulletproof.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they will also give you and lead you to other places. So I think that things like Weave are a really, really good starting point.
Yeah.
I know that there is other things that are coming out. There's one called Sun, which is SUNN. And that is actually the guy who I spoke to on Weave. He's creating a platform that is actually connecting business people globally.
Right.
It's still at the beginning.
Yeah.
It's very good concept. Very, very good concept. And I'm interested to see where that concept is taken within the next 10 years. I'm very, very interested because, as I keep on saying, guys, the world is changing very, very rapidly. And it is very much sink or swim. And all of our educational systems should be preparing our young people to go into a world that is highly informational based and highly technologically based as well. And I think that as entrepreneurs and as young people who are aspiring to be entrepreneurs or self-employed should be really, really taking a look at what's going on in the world and starting to see how you fit yourself within the next 10 years.
Yeah.
I think Gary Vaynerchuk said, if you are not technology based, then you are making a really big mistake going into the next 10 years. Because it's going to change.
It's going to be majority technological based.
I mean, we normally talk about articles on the podcast, but I was reading a report, the Global Youth Report, and it's talking about a range of different things. And the Global Report, the Agenda Report for 2015, it mentions a range of things. And one of the things that I posted up actually was that technology is going to start taking our jobs. For example, you can call Orange or O2 or whoever. I'm not too sure what it's like in England, but here when you call them and you get
robots.
What is the thing that you want? You're like, pay my bill. What's that? Pay your bill. You know what I mean? It's that.
Yeah, it is. It is.
That used to be a human being, by the way. That was somebody's job. Now it's not.
No, it's not.
You've got factories like Nissan in the northeast.
There's
factories that are very, very similar in China, and now robots do the job.
leaving so many people unemployed.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are living in the future.
Remember those Star Wars films you used to watch?
Yeah.
That is today and tomorrow.
Actually, there's a funny little story there. There's in Disney, in America, you have all your different places, and you have one of the parks is called Epcot, right? And it's all of the countries in the world, all right. And you go around the whole entire park, and you've been to every country in the world. It's really cool. It's a really cool concept. But anybody who's familiar with it, you'll know there's a huge globe, right? And it's a silver globe, right? It doesn't look like the Earth. It's a silver globe, and you go inside of it, and it takes you all the way through history. Okay. Then it brings you all the way back. Right? Now when you get to the top, it's the future. Every year, they had to start changing it.
They would have to.
You were going faster than what the future actually was.
Absolutely.
If anybody's got any sci-fi fans or anything like that, Star Trek. Back in the day, they were operating these guys. That's what they were using. And they were operating iPads. Yeah. Yeah,
you see them all touch screens and doing all this on their screens. That's all possible now.
Well, it exists.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It actually exists. Well, smart TVs. There's actually something called a smart fridge.
Yeah, that tells you when you're running out of certain products and things.
Exactly, and which product it is.
It
can send you a message.
Whilst you're out of the shop, your fridge texts you saying...
Yeah. And if you're an entrepreneur in this changing world, you need to start thinking, where do I fit in all of this chaotic mess? Do you know what I mean? How do I stay afloat in this sea of noise, craziness? What's happening right now?
Yeah.
You know, you've got so many places, so many cities, and so much information at your get-go. Like, all you need to do is log onto your computer or log onto your phone, go on Google and search. And you can find out any information. You have edx.org.
Amazing.
Right? I'll say that again. edx.org. Okay? You can go and get yourself, if you are not 100%, you're thinking, okay, I want to be an entrepreneur, I really like the idea of this, but I also think I'm a little bit lacking in the knowledge part.
Yeah.
Okay, that's completely fine. Go on edx.org and get yourself some credentials. Free courses, normally between 6 to 12 weeks of the course. Some of them are in 2 parts, and they're by the top universities in the world. And you can be given your credentials by these people. Yeah? So you're being taught by some of the best people.
Harvard,
in the
Stanford,
world.
MIT, all of that. I'm doing a course at the minute.
Yeah, was it Queensland?
I'm doing a course, Queensland, University of Queensland in Australia. I'm doing a course in the science of everyday thinking.
It's very, very interesting. If you are maybe, I can't go to university or anything like that, I want to just stay at home and do this, then in your summer, take 6 weeks off, yeah? And start hammering down on it. Start hammering down, guys, and start getting your credentials that you believe that you need. If you want to learn about business analytics, you can do it. You
can do all of that.
You want to learn about how to be a programmer or a developer, you can do it. You have any amount of information from here, so start using it. Don't just keep on using it just to check your Instagram or to check your Facebook or to check...
See what your friends are doing and all that.
Do you know what I mean?
No.
There's one thing I learned from a life coach called Peter Sage. I remember watching, I can't remember if I watched a video or listened to an audio. It was one of them. And I was listening to the audio anyway, and it said that don't bother about the news, guys. Don't bother about it. Do you know what's going on in the world? Everything. Everything is going on in the world. Right now, at this present time, somebody's stealing, somebody's, dying, everything is going on in the world.
Everything right now.
Somebody's being successful, somebody's, made $1 million.
Someone's getting promotions. Yeah, everything.
Stop being bothered about it. Yeah? Keep relevant, of course, keep relevant. But you don't have to worry about it too much, guys.
No.
Just get in there, use your technology for what it can be used for. Yeah? What it can be. Not what it is being used for, because a majority of people are not using this for what it can be used for. Yeah? Use it to ace up on your credentials or your knowledge base, whatever it is in your industry. have a look at personal branding on Google. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we talked a little bit about it here, but I mean, there's thousands of articles there. Roughly about 53,000 articles, to be honest. You've got there's a lot of things that you can be doing, guys. It's just take the step, start applying it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you've got that feeling, and you want to do something with your life, then start applying it. Rule your world. Do it.
Completely.
You can't.
It's quite an old thing, this, but Napoleon Hill stated that in order to be successful, you have to have a burning desire for the achievement of your dreams. But after that, after the burning desire, you have to be taking action. You have to have that burning desire, like Graeme said, where it gets you up on a morning and you're taking action. He's reading articles. He's noting down in his head what he's got to learn for the day. Me, myself, I'm doing the course on edX.org. You have to take action. You have to learn, absorb it.
You seriously have to take the steps.
You have to.
It's not just going to happen overnight either, guys. As I think I said it in the first episode. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to just jog carefully. Some of the people that have contacted me, they're 20, 22. I'm 24. You can just go. Just start learning.
Yeah.
Snail's pace. Nice, easy.
Yeah.
Have time for yourself as well, of course.
That's
Family
it.
time, friend time is really, really important, guys. So all of these things, make sure that you're having a nice balance in everything.
Absolutely.
So, take action and learn everything that you possibly can. But also think, okay, so once I've learned this, how am I going to implement it?
How are you going to apply it?
How's it all going to happen? Yeah. Have a good strategy and start having some burning desires about how and why you're going to do something.
A great way to start doing that. For me, what I do every day is I make a to-do list. I have one right here. It's not a very big one because it's going to be, there's quite big things on there. But every day I make a to-do list. Or even better, the night before the day starts. I have a to-do list of small, achievable things that I know that I can achieve that day. So I have a plan. The strategy's there and I'm doing it. I tick it off as I do it.
I've got something very, very similar. And it's very, very easy to do. What I do is I set up on here, I set up my calendar.
Yeah.
Now as you can see, I'm meant to be doing things at these times.
Yeah.
Yeah. These are the things I'm meant to be doing. Now, some of the green ones are obviously birthdays for everybody who knows.
Yeah.
So all of these things, right? They will come up and they will set me a reminder half an hour before it's meant to be done.
So you have time to prep for it.
Exactly. So if I'm at a place, say at 12, I will get a reminder at 11:30 saying you need to be here at this time.
So you go.
Now, if I know I need to travel far, I'm already on it and I'm traveling before.
Yeah.
But if it's half an hour's journey or whatever, or it's half an hour before that thing needs to be done, I will spend laser focused time in that half an hour getting that thing done, whatever it is.
Or getting to the place that needs to be.
Or chipping away at it, yeah. It's really, really about that. It's about just having an action and having a bit of initiative as well.
Yeah.
Having leadership, ruling your own world would mean that you lead your own life.
Yeah, you're the leader of your mind and your life.
Yeah, you'll be the emperor of that.
Take control of this, guys.
Yeah, one of the biggest things that I really am glad that I did a long time ago was stopped watching TV.
Perfect.
Stopped watching TV.
Same.
Don't get me wrong, every now and then me and my partner, we will watch TV together. We'll sit there and we'll watch a series or a movie.
Or a film, yeah.
But we're not glued to it.
No.
Do you know what I mean? We're talking to each other as well and we're laughing and carrying on. We're
just spending that time together rather than,
we're not just glued to the TV.
No.
And one thing that I used to do, which I do not do now, is binge watch. Somebody, right, who has the time to watch 9 episodes in a row
of Breaking Bad or something.
He complains about their life not being good. I'm sorry, you need to check yourself.
You have no right to complain if that is how you're spending your time.
Spending your time binge watching TV is not going to change anything.
Not a thing.
At all. It's just not.
It's proven.
You need to wake up and start sorting that out for sure. Because I used to do that. I used to sit, when I was at uni, I would sit back and I would watch 10 episodes of Entourage or something like that. Crazy. When I think about it now, I'm like, what was I doing?
How much time? How many hours?
I could have been spending that doing something completely different. That would have been extremely valuable for me.
Yeah.
Like, that would have been something that I would have thanked myself for now.
You would have been probably further than what you are now.
Exactly that, mate. But now I really, really do look back and I think, you know what? There were times where I learnt as well.
You had to go through that to get to this anyway.
Yeah, I'm still kind of glad of that. Which is, again, it's a really, really big problem that a lot of people have, is knowing when to say no to themselves. You know, it really, really is.
I wanted to just get into something. Someone's obviously we get questions sent in for the people that haven't seen this before. A guy called Justin Edligan, if that's how it's pronounced, has sent in a question. He says, do you think because of the rise of social media and application shopping, the way it makes life easier for millions of people, that it will take over the retail sector of bigger countries like America or the UK? People want accessibility, and apps, especially shopping apps, create that accessibility for a lot of people. Also, greetings cards are a dying product. The mobilization and digitalization of such products will come shortly. Do you agree?
It's a really good statement, to be quite honest, Jason. To be honest, I agree with a lot that you're saying, and I've thought about it a lot. And obviously, I'm thinking about the technological advances of the globe, and business and education as well, and healthcare too. And I've started to think that, it's probably going to take over retail, all right? However, people are going to want that human connection still.
Yeah.
It might not at first, because what this is going to be is just like when this first come out, and everyone had one, and now everyone's got one.
Yeah, it died.
Yeah? It's going to, what's the word? The
excitement.
The X factor of it.
Yeah.
The uniqueness of having it. Oh, I've got an iPhone, or I've got the new app, or blah, blah, blah. Or I only shop using an application. I think that it will take over, and I think software is going to eat the world. 100%. Software will eat the world, and we will probably, this is a really bold statement, but we will probably become the artificial intelligence. Yeah. We will, with implementation of the technology
inside out. Yeah.
That's how I think it's going to go down. Again, I could be completely wrong. I'm not saying that I'm an expert in that, but I think that's possibly how it could go.
Easily.
Anyway, I think that the application would be definitely possible to take over the retail world, especially in places like America, where accessibility in that sort of relaxed way about life is there. However, if that does happen, do you know what I would do? I would set up an authentic business again. And I would say, we're the niche market guys, you can talk to a human being. I would just turn back and reverse engineer.
Yeah.
Because it's, it will take over. Of course it will. But eventually...
people are going to start getting, they're going to want that realness.
Yeah, someone's going to change that. I mean, I used to go to, for example, Tesco's, right? You go to Tesco's and you can either use self-service or the aisle person. If the self-service is open, right, and there's nobody there, and it's pretty empty, and nobody's on the tills, I'm going to go to the till. Because, hi, how are you doing? How's your day
that
going?
Connection.
Yeah, I want to talk to a human being.
Funny enough, you know what Tesco's doing now? They have, the scanner that they have
self-scan.
Have you seen? No. They have a remote, right, that you take around. It has a little slot on your trolley.
Yeah, self-scan.
Oh, sorry, yeah. And you go around and you're adding up your bill, and then you just go at the end and you put your thing, you scan your scanner on the machine. It is crazy, and there's no human interaction.
Yeah, when I was working doing a training course. I was training people in soft skills, basically, for Tesco's, and it was for a friend. And I was doing the training, and it was very interesting because you learned a lot about how everything works, and they mentioned this. And I thought, well, this is this is a big high security risk, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
I was talking teaching, to their security people. So it was kind of interesting to hear how that was going and how they felt about it as well. But I knew about that a little while back, And I was thinking, I wonder when that will be fully implemented. So that's just a normal thing. Do you know what I mean? So now it is.
Definitely.
Very interesting. Very, very interesting. But yeah, I mean, just to go back quickly to Jason.
Justin.
Yeah, I really, really think that it will take over Jason. And I really, really think that it's going to be... It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. However, I think that it will be implemented back at some point.
Nothing's set in stone, is it? Like that's all. The whole entrepreneurship, the whole world is based on innovation and adaptation. So whatever works now might not work, will not work in 10 years' time. Do you know what I mean? So it's all about moving with it and just riding the waves and just making the most of every bit of, like Gary Vee again. He says that while the attention is there, he is going to rinse it. He's going to make the most of it, and then when the attention's not there, he'll forget about it and move on to where the attention is.
Yeah, I mean, talking about Gary Vee and kind of moving it into that sort of that artificial intelligence thing. He's at a keynote one time, and he mentions just by show of hands, guys, who would be willing to put technology inside their body. And some people put their hands up, and he said, okay, I'd say about 30%, something like that.
But 10 years ago, nobody would have said that.
Yeah, exactly. He went, I'm not, the idea is not to sort of show who you are or anything like that, or be like, oh, he would put technology in. It's not that. It's the idea of 10 years ago, everybody would have thought I was crazy for saying that. That's what he says, and it's like, yeah, you're right. Because now, it's becoming more normal. It
is the norm.
And eventually, it's going to get even more normal. And that's when we'll start implementing technology in our body. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing is completely undecided.
So many different opinions on that.
Yeah, of course, mate. There's that whole Borg thing. Like, oh, we will only be Borgs and zero emotion and things like that. But,
and then you've got the left wing who are like, nah, dude.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, mate, with an idea so powerful like that, I really can't see it not happening.
No.
I really can't, guys. I think that is a very, very big possibility.
It's heading that way, and it has been for some time.
Yeah, the world, as I said, I'm going to say it again, the world's changing, sink or swim. And I think that it's Charles Darwin said it's not only the strongest species that survives, it's the one that adapts the easiest. And if you're not adapting, I don't know what will happen. I wouldn't like to hazard a guess either.
Yeah.
So, I mean, getting away from artificial intelligence there. Yeah, artificial intelligence. Sorry, I'll put my teeth in. I think that in the going years, we need to really, really focus on personal branding, guys.
Yeah.
And we really, really need to focus on telling our own unique story. Yeah. Got a friend who's a barber. In fact, I've got a couple of friends who are barbers. One Matt, one Stefan. Hi, Stefan, if you're things. Hi, Matt, if you're, and really, really good guys. And one thing that I really think that Matt has hands down. I mean, I haven't seen Stefan in the go of things. You know what I mean? Whereas Matt, I lived with him. You know.
Right.
So one thing that Matt really, really has is personality. Unique selling point. Nobody has his personality.
Nobody.
Might be similar, but it's not Matt.
No.
Do you know what I mean? This is personal branding.
Yeah.
He's branding himself, but he's not intentionally branding himself. He is showing people his brand.
Yeah. His personality, his identity.
He's being completely transparent. He's not a fake person. He's completely honest, trustworthy, transparent, authentic. This is who he is. Therefore, people will buy into who he is. People are like, oh, he's such an awesome guy.
Yeah.
You know, because he's just honest. Do you know what I mean? And that's how you need to be in your business, in your personal branding, as an entrepreneur or an entrepreneuress. I'm going to start adding.
Yes, that equality.
You know, that's what it is. You know, if you're looking at your personal brand, be completely authentic, be completely trustworthy, honest, just transparent.
And don't try and be someone you're not. Don't try and be Gary Vee. Don't try and be Bill Gates. Don't try and be still Steve Jobs. That's been done. Be yourself.
Be you. Yeah? Be you 2.0.
Be the best you that you can be.
Yeah. Just be beating who you were last year. That's all you need to do. But be honest about it. There's a really, really good explanation on this. I watch a lot of Sir Ken Robinson. If anybody doesn't know who he is, who's watching, check him out. Amazing. Sir Ken Robinson. He has a couple of TED Talks, and he also has a lot of other conferences. Now, he actually held a conference. It was at a peace summit, I believe, in Vancouver. I think it was that. And he was hosting with the Dalai Lama.
Really?
Yeah, with the Dalai Lama. All right? Now, somebody asked the Dalai Lama a question, okay? And the Dalai Lama sits there for a little bit, and everybody, like, thinking about the answer, and everybody's kind of waiting, pacing, like, what's he going to say? It's going to be awesome, you know, like, and everyone's kind of on the edge of their seat.
Anticipating.
Here it comes. And he just looks and he goes, I don't know. The Dalai Lama says that, you know? Like, Ken Robinson mentions this in one of his talks, and he says, now I find that amazing, because it's the Dalai Lama. You know, everyone's looking at him like, what? You're the Dalai Lama. You should know this.
Yeah.
But he wasn't afraid to say, I don't know. He was authentic, and he was transparent.
And honest.
He didn't speculate, because he said, I've never thought of that before. Be honest.
Yeah.
Be transparent. You know, I have a client, right? And I'm English, yeah, so I should know the English language fairly well, yeah? And somebody they might say, what does this word mean? And I just look. And the first time I was like, I need to find that out. I need to be able to give them that word. But now I'm like, I don't know. But you know what? Let's find it out together. And we find it out together. And then I understand it. And I'm like, so that could be applied like this, and this. You know, because then I understand the concept and I can give them that. But I'm not afraid to say, I don't know actually. Let's find out what that is. That's in my passive vocabulary. It's not in my active vocabulary. I don't use that every single day.
No.
You know, but yeah, just be transparent, guys. Allow that to come through. Shifting into entrepreneurship from personal branding there. Look, we all need to work together. And we all need to do something that is worth it. We all need to help each other. We're globally connected with the internet and social medias. Therefore, let's start using it to help each other. Let's start using things like this podcast to come together of like-minded people. And let's start building businesses together and enterprises together that start solving problems.
Yeah.
If you want to open up a business that is a hat business, as I used the example before, that's completely fine. Okay, that's completely fine. Set up the business, make your million. All right, you're probably not going to make $1 million, but
there's loads of hat businesses.
Do you know what I mean? Like, try and stand out from the crowd, guys. Do something different. If you're a barber, fantastic. How do you be different? What's your unique selling point? Is it your personality? Is it your actual shop where people come to? Yeah. Now, any developers who are listening, okay, I'm really, really interested in working with this, all right? I come up with this little idea, and I'm going to just give this idea out here because I can't create every idea that I think of, okay? I tried to go and get my hair cut, all right, here in Malaga, all right? And there's a feria here, which is like a fair, like a party everywhere. And I didn't know which barbers were open and which ones were not, right? So here's the one for the developers. Develop an application, right, that is like a barber just eat, right, which has all your barbers in your area here, all right, and you can find out which ones are open and which ones are not, and what time they are, and how much it is, yeah, on one application. Please, you do that, please, I will help you get to the right person and get the right investment, because I want that application. I want it, yeah? So if any developers are listening, please try making that application.
It would be perfect. Like you said, we're all busy people. We're all busy people. So we might, like, I might come visit Graeme and we might meet up in Barcelona, for example. We don't know where the barbers are in Barcelona, but if we have this Barber Just Eat app, we can find out.
And you could call it Barbed or something like that. I don't know. I'm just thinking. Yeah. It's just innovation.
Spitballing.
An application that is like a Just Eat for barbering. Like, if anybody's listening, you might think I'm crazy. My girlfriend thought I was crazy. She was just like, no one would do that. But that's what people probably said to a lot of people that's made these apps.
Yeah.
But any developer that is doing it, right? make the application, and then message me.
And we'll use it.
And we'll not use it. We're going to help you get to the right place. I'm going to do everything in my power to make that happen for you. But you need to make the application, the hard part. All right. But yeah, that is a really, really big thing. Entrepreneurship. It's about coming up with ideas.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Solving problems again.
But then being able to execute them after. You know. And I really, really believe in social entrepreneurship. And anybody who wants to know what I'm about, social entrepreneurship. I believe in solving problems in our nations, and on the globe, and in our cities, in our societies, with using business. I had another one idea. Here's another one. I'm just throwing them out today. There's another one. Get ready for this. I live in Malaga. Fresh produce from all of the farmers. So what you do is answer to Jason's question, is you make an application that people go on there and they shop for their fresh produce. So chicken from a farm, not from a supermarket, from a farm.
Organic.
Right? Organic, right? Lemons, apples, oranges, right? All from a farm. Beef, whatever it is, right? Garlic, almonds. Okay.
Anything.
My girlfriend's partners, my girlfriend's mum and dad have an almond tree, right? So almonds, right? You could do this. It's plausible here. You make an application where this is possible. Now you are giving back to the farm. Yeah? Local farms. Via an application. And you can set up the business. You can employ people. So now you're helping people become employed.
And partner up with these farms.
And exactly. And partner up with the farms. Now, anybody who's listening from Mazda, I doubt you are, or any other big supermarket, I'm sorry, but it's fresher produce, guys. And
the other day I was...
for people.
The other day, to add to this, I was looking for fresh food. Like, the only thing open was takeaways, greasy kebabs, burgers, and I decided not to eat. I'd rather not eat than eat that stuff. But like, another idea, I've just come up with an idea. Why not open a healthy takeaway that's open all hours? Why not offer things that people want?
When I was in England, I was going to open up an organic health like food store, like a takeaway, an organic takeaway, right? And I was going to put it in a place where it was just call centres. Because right next to that call centre, there was a Greggs, right? Now I know that if people have the option of healthy or Greggs, they're going here.
Yeah,
they're going
healthy.
Here. Because the only reason they're not eating healthy is because there's nothing on offer.
There's only one place.
So, like takeaway salad or something, but all organic produce. And completely different as well. Raw desserts and things like that. So you're eating like watermelon ice cream and things like that. And it could be cheap because it's easy to make.
Easy.
It's made. Do you know what I mean? And I know people who can do this, who can implement this. In England, in the northeast, you could implement it. You could take it up to the call centre part where 2 touches and things like that. And you could implement it there. And you would make a lot of money, guys. Trust me, you would make a lot of money. You would need a first investment, for sure. But you would make a lot of money. And it is, you're completely right, making healthy takeaways. Why are we not doing that?
It's like Gateshead. Gateshead, for example, have put a stop to any new takeaway opening on their high street. Gateshead have decided that it is too unhealthy, it is too obese, and it's becoming a problem. So what they've done is put a stop to these unhealthy takeaways, right?
Good.
But why not banish them and make... Hell, obviously it would take a lot more than that, but you're not going to get change unless you just take away the takeaways.
Do you know what? I can't remember who I was watching it. I think it's Ken Robinson. Yeah, I think it was Ken Robinson. Again, Sir Ken Robinson, sorry. And he mentioned that you have fast food restaurants, right? Which is standard, right? It's a standardized thing, right? So all the buns are the same buns, all of the burgers are the same burgers, the chicken nuggets are blah, 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 blah.
Yeah,
right? So on, so on, so on, so on. The soda is soda, so on, so on, so on. If you go to a Michelin restaurant, it's a different standard. Yeah? The reason is because it's a higher quality and it's healthier and it's so on and so on and so on.
And so on.
Yeah? So instead of having standardized stuff, we need to become more innovative with our takeaways, with our education, with our businesses in general. Yeah? I really, really think that as young people, I think we are the generation that can change things.
Absolutely.
I really, really do believe that. However, it's a big challenge. And we all need the young people, young aspiring entrepreneurs, to stand up and start writing your business plans. Now, I have a little bit of a question that was sent in for me, actually. It was via a friend of mine, Richie. Thanks for watching, Richie, when you watched the podcast. And he said to me, given how you were talking about technology moving forward, I'm currently researching alternative therapies for mental health and was considering writing a book on the topic. In the current climate, would you self-publish this as a book on, say, Amazon, or look to make it a website or app? Keep hustling, brother. Right? So, trust me, Richie, I'm going to keep on hustling.
Absolutely.
In regards to your question, Richie, I would say all of the above. I would say, as you're researching, I would be setting a website up, and I would be blogging articles about my findings, so that people can follow your journey on the whole of everything, and people know who you are. This is your brand, yeah. This is your personal branding. Then, as Gary Vayner says, just jab at them with your articles, yeah. Meaning, give them
good content, quality.
Give good content, and then write hook, and ask them to buy the book when it's written. So, but I would self-publish it as well. I wouldn't let a huge publishing company get on, because when you're writing the articles, you're probably going to start driving attention to you, and publishers will start approaching.
So eventually, anyway, if you were to release this book in, say, a year's time after you've really put the hard work in to do these little jab, you'll have enough followers and you'll have enough supporters from your personal brand and your social media following to really home in and get the results that the big publishers will be able to get you. Whereas if you were to do it yourself and self-publish it, like Graeme said, and you have your following, you're going to be able to get those results regardless of whether you publish it via a big publisher.
For sure, man. For sure. And I think this, well, Richie, is you've got a lot of people who are really starting to catch on to this. So you need to find a way as how to stand out. Now, you posted up, Richie, you posted up some photographs. You actually asked me to come on this walk with you, and it was to climb a mountain. I really wish I'd come on the walk with you because it looked outstanding. The photos that you posted up looked outstanding, mate. And this is what people want to see. They want to see your journey. They want to see your story. So blog about it, man, and put it all on your website. You can set up a website on squarespace.com that is solely only for blogging. You don't even need to sell anything on there. But if you can, I'm sure you have that option. Yeah. So you have these types of things. You have this platform, Squarespace, where you can make your website and blog about your experience, your research, what your opinion is of this research. Have you had any troubles? What's your doubts?
Yeah.
What are the different types of therapies? You could write an article on every single type of therapy. Exactly.
And you can interlink all of your social networks as well and get them all integrated and make it one big thing.
Exactly that. Use something like Hootsuite, and you can post everything at the same time simultaneously. Or, for example, you might have Instagram and LinkedIn linked together, so you're posting photographs as well as a little bit of text. And then you could have maybe your Twitter and your Facebook linked together. I wouldn't really recommend that one because one's short and one's more. So I would probably go for Facebook as your whole general thing. Actually. Just driving people to your blog. You know, add a little bit of the blurb of what the article's about, and then say, please, check it out.
Put a link underneath for the full article.
Yeah. Like, you don't want to just give them everything straight away.
No.
Drive them to your website. Bring them to it. Serenade them a little bit.
Yeah.
We're not making love here, but...
No.
You know.
I have a question from James North, and he says... How long was it until you realised what you wanted to do with yourself, whether it be a lifestyle choice, career or occupation, and what made you get where you are now?
Very interesting. I wanted to do a Dalai Lama thing there, but like...
I don't know.
I'm just here. I think genuinely I think it's been a chaotic string of events.
Absolutely.
Where I am now. But one of the fundamental things that has got me where I am is passion. A passion to help people. A passion to solve a problem. And not taking no for an answer.
For me, it would be self-awareness. Self-awareness. Realizing what I'm doing wrong that's detrimental to my life and improving it and stopping doing what's detrimental and doing things that improve myself again. When it took a long time for me a long time, I'm only 22 years old, but it was a while, like it felt like a long time that it took me to realize what I wanted to do. And if you don't know what you wanted to do, I know because I've communicated with James quite a lot that he is a keen musician. So he already kind of knows what he wants to do. So when he's asking how long was it until I realized what I wanted to do is, as Graeme said, a series of chaotic events that led you to doing something.
It really is. I mean, I read the other day someone talking about it. We kind of look at our CV, our curriculum, and we kind of look at it and we go, wow, this is my life.
This is who I am.
My professional life. But I didn't plan that. Do you know what I mean? And I didn't plan getting here. Trust me, I really didn't.
No.
It was kind of a lot of chaotic events and a lot of spontaneity and just believing like, look, this is going to work out no matter what. I'm not going to die. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not exactly jumping off a cliff here.
What's the worst that could happen?
Exactly that, yeah. I've always been about that. But one strong thing is hustle. It's a really strong thing. I've got friends who sit around and do nothing.
Same.
Nothing. Zero. Yeah? Zero. And wonder why things aren't going right. I've got other friends who have got up and moved.
You get out what you put in life.
Yeah, Benjamin Franklin, this is accredited to him. However, I'm not too sure if the source is exact, but it's credited to him. He said there are 3 types of people in the world. Those that are irremovable, those that are movable, and those who move. And I think it's a very good statement. You've got people who sit down and they're stuck in their own ways.
Stagnant.
No, I'm not changing. This is how it is. This is how life will always going to be. Yeah. And then you have the leaders who are movable. You can move. Yeah. And you can be like, yeah, well, you know, this is that, and they see why they should move. And they go against on their own path, their own story, and they become successful in their own little way. Their very own little way, sorry. Then you have the ones who just move. And these are your Mark Zuckerbergs. These are your Bill Gates. These are your Steve Jobs, your Walt Disneys,
elite.
your Oprah Winfreys. These are who these are. These are the people who move. And you can be any one of them 3 people. You can. I personally think you should choose to move.
Easily.
Because
there's no brainer.
If you choose to move and you just start moving and you start doing things, I think everybody who's listening to this will be extremely surprised at what you can actually do.
100%.
I really am a big believer that we have been told throughout our entire childhood, most of us in any way, coming from a council estate background, let's say.
Yeah.
We get told quite a lot that we can't do and that we won't do.
And what we say
I urge
is,
you all to smile at them and say, watch me.
Yeah, I was just about to say the same thing.
I urge you to say, watch me. Because I remember saying to people, one day I'm going to do this, one day I'm going to do that, and they'd be like, yeah, okay.
What?
Now, I went back in July and I went to Sunderland, I walked through and I spoke to a few people, and they were like, so you're living in Spain now? I'm like, yeah, it's really nice actually. Lots of weather, palm trees, oceans, beautiful. Like, so what do you do? I'm like, well, I own my own company and I freelance for another company, so I'm completely self-sufficient. And they kind of looked at me like, wow, you actually said you would do that. Yeah, I said and I did.
Actions speak louder than words.
because I will move. Yeah, and that doesn't make me better than anybody.
No.
Please, everybody who's listening, don't think that I think I'm better than anybody, because I'm not. Because I realise that I am an insignificant drop in this universe.
But you rule your world.
But I will take control of my life, and I will try and help other people do exactly the same. Because that's the problem that I'm trying to solve. People.
Absolutely. In addition to that, my nan the other day, she was talking about a job that she used to do, and she said she used to get paid quite a lot for it. I was like, oh, just out of curiosity, how much is a lot of money to you? And she was like, oh, £400 a week, whatever, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, all right. She was like, how much is a lot of money to you? And I was like, well, millions, billions. And she was like, good luck, you'll never get that. I was like, watch. Do you know what I mean? But the thing is, I don't focus on the money, as we've discussed before. But the fact is that I said, watch. Like, don't let people determine your fate. You determine your fate.
Even if you don't reach $1 billion, right? Because I mean, that is a lot of money.
It is a lot of money.
For anybody who doesn't know, $1 billion is 1,000 million, right? So it's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
Granted, right? But even if you don't get that, if you aim for that, you're probably going to reach $1 million. You're actually probably, if your mind's set on $1 billion, 1,000 million, you're probably going to reach $1 million.
1 million.
Yeah, 1 million. And that's fine, that's enough. You can live off that for the rest of your life if you're not stupid with it.
But I was going to say, you won't sustain that. You're not solving any problems.
Yeah, you're not. You're right.
Again.
You need to be able to use that money to do something. Yeah. That's my goal. I don't want to have a lot of money in my bank account. Why?
Money's irrelevant.
Yeah. I would like to be able to put that money straight back into the system. Straight back into the people, to the society. One of my biggest dreams, for anybody who wants to know, or don't want to know,
I'm interested.
Anyway, I want to be able to set up a scholarship fund for people who cannot go to university because they cannot afford to. They really want to, and they're hungry to do something, but cannot. Because I know people who are like that. And you know what? It sucks because they're really hungry. And I want to be able to give that to people. I can't now. I wish I could.
One day.
But I will. Because it's a goal of mine. And I will die before that happens. You know, I want to make that happen. You know, like I will die making that happen. It's like get rich or die trying. No, I make a scholarship fund or die trying. You know,
yeah.
That's
help people or die trying.
Yeah, I really want to. I want to prove to people, look, you don't have to be greedy. You don't have to. You can actually give back to people, and people say, yeah, money will change you. Yeah, it does, mate. That's why you have to have a psychologist when you win the lottery, because it's going to change how you think, and it's going to change your character and behaviour. However, I think, right, if you have a really good person who comes into a lot of money, they will do good things with it.
Yeah.
If you have a really bad person who comes into money, they're going to do bad things with it. Yeah? Same with power as well. And I really genuinely think that you have nice people in the world. And I think that the news and things like that and media really projects that we are not good and that we are like parasites.
They make you scared.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I really don't think that's the case. In fact, I think there are a lot more nice people on the planet than there are bad people.
Absolutely.
And it's just becoming aware of that. And I think sometimes when you think somebody's bad or being passive to you, is because they are also thinking the same thing. Which is kind of bringing me to my last point for myself is, please people, if you're an entrepreneur, solve a problem. Build your personal brand, tell your story, be authentic, be transparent, and connect with everyone. Connect. Because at the end of the day, as Charlie said earlier on, there's strength in numbers, and we can't really ask our owners, our governments, or the company owners to do it for us.
We have to do it.
So we have to do it ourselves. It's that simple. It's hard, it's going to be a challenge, but we need to build the businesses now.
We do.
And we need to build them together. Let's give them a hand. It's a pretty big job ruling the world, you know. And let's
on that note,
everyone.
on that note, we urge everybody who appreciates us, who is involved with us, who connects with us, get involved. We are inviting you in. We want you to be a part of this just as much as we are a part of this. We want us all to come together. We are a family of people. Subscribe to our YouTube, comment. We will reply. We will reply. We're not a huge corporation with 1 million employees. We are human beings. We're going to reply. We're going to connect. We're going to engage with you guys. So that is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. There'll be another podcast coming very soon. But yeah,
it will be a little bit less deep than this one. This one was a very deep one.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
we went deep on this one.
We did.
So yeah, but as Charlie said, everyone keep in touch and message us, give us comments.
Yeah, this podcast is for you guys. This is for not just for us. It's for you. We're not just trying to get your views. We're trying to help people. We're not trying to get your likes. We're trying to help you.
I don't care about likes.
Irrelevant.
I don't really care about likes.
Irrelevant.
I don't care about followers.
Irrelevant.
If everybody unfollowed me on Facebook tomorrow, I don't care.
That's it.
I really don't.
I'd rather have one genuine listener and contributor and engagement and do you know what I mean, than 1,000 views.
I think what I want out of all of this the most is to connect with like-minded individuals.
Absolutely.
So if you like what we're talking about and you like the idea of ruling your world and starting up enterprise and being an entrepreneur and taking charge of everything around you, then please, by all means, give us a message.
Get involved.
And let us know that you enjoy these podcasts because we keep on doing them.
Absolutely.
We're going to keep on doing it anyway, but, you know, we really want... And if you think I'm a douche, tell me. It's fine.
Be honest.
I'd like you to be honest. Be
Absolutely.
transparent.
That's it. Right.
All right. So,
build your empire, rule your world, and have an amazing day, have an amazing week, have an amazing month, amazing year, and an amazing life, and make things happen. Thank you very much, Graeme. See you again.
yeah.